Day number 2 of the MLB lockout, and players are still trolling Robert Manfred and Major League Baseball. If you missed it, as soon as the lockout went into effect, MLB.com and their staff, they scrubbed all of the likeness of current players using a single profile picture of a blank player. So what did the players do? They downloaded that blank image and they decided to use it as a profile picture. Alex Bregman joined the fight, as well as J-Ram, but of course J-Ram, he put his little spin on it. This is just so petty. Anyways, what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about because I was going to talk about it yesterday, but of course the lockout came into effect, so I wanted to go ahead and break that down. But we have a ton of players signing with brand new teams, as well as a trade that happened that is still making me scratch my head, so we'll go ahead and talk about that in just a moment. Mark Melancon is getting $14 million over the next 2 seasons from the Arizona Diamondbacks, so he is bouncing from the Padres. And once upon a time, Mark Melancon actually had the richest contract for a reliever in the history of Major League Baseball, so he continues to find a way to get his bag. He led the league in saves with 39, and he has a 2.37 ERA over, let's just round up to his last 90 innings, so he has been very, very good. I know he kind of fell off a little bit in terms of pace at the end of 2021, but he was still good nonetheless. Corey Knebel has found a new team as well. He is going to the Phillies, and this could be huge for them because bullpen has been a bugaboo ever since I can remember, going back to the last 5 or 6 years. But now they have Ian Kennedy, they have Archie Bradley, and now they have Corey Knebel, and that would be a really solid 1-2-3 punch in my opinion. And back in 2017, Corey Knebel had a 1.78 ERA and almost 40 saves. He missed 2019 with injury and then turned in a 2.45 ERA and a 2.9 FIP in about 26 innings this year. So definitely a small sample size, but in my opinion, this makes the Phillies a better team, even though it's a small signing. The Dodgers, they lost out on Corey Seager, Max Scherzer, and Corey Knebel, but they were able to retain CT3. Chris Taylor, he signs a $60 million deal over the next 4 seasons. Since 2017, he has a combined 114 OPS plus. That is pretty good, and he can play every single position, as well as the fact that he has sneaky speed for a 30-plus-year-old. This is a fantastic acquisition. I love this for the Dodgers, especially considering they are losing everyone. Moving on over to Marcus Stroman, he signs a 3-year deal at $71 million. That is Justin Verlander type money, and for his career, Marcus Stroman has a 3.63 ERA and a 3.62 FIP, which is really good. He's pitched 179 plus innings 4 of the last 5 seasons, so he is going to be one of the more reliable pitchers in Major League Baseball. And because Jacob deGrom went down, he was in fact the best, the most efficient, and the most reliable pitcher for the Mets in 2021. He is a supreme athlete as well. He's going to play Gold Glove defense as a starting pitcher. He might be able to hit, but I'm thinking that the NL is going to get the DH this year, so it's not even really going to matter. So the Cubs, they have signed Clint Frazier, they got Marcus Stroman, stole Harold Ramirez from Cleveland, even though Cleveland dropped him. I still don't know why that was a thing, and a lot of people are saying Harold wasn't even that good, but I like Big Harold. He was a solid athlete, he's fast, he hits the ball hard, so the Cubs, they're trying to rebuild as fast as humanly possible, led by Frank Schwindel and Patrick Wisdom. So let me know in the comment section down below, before we talk about the Hunter Renfroe trade, what do you make of Mark Melancon, Corey Knebel, CT3, and Marcus Stroman either going back to their original teams or going to a brand new team? I think the biggest one obviously is Marcus Stroman, and he even tweeted that he bought his mom a house and now it's time to buy his dad a house. So he is very controversial over on Twitter. He likes to engage with trolls, which I don't think is a good look, but he seems like a good dude at heart, and I'm happy for him and his family, and he's pretty good at what he does. Now let's talk about this Red Sox trade, because what the heck am I looking at? Hunter Renfroe is a Gold Glove caliber right fielder with 30-plus home run pop. You can't really find that too often in Major League Baseball, and they traded him for Jackie Bradley Jr., a former Red Sox legend who had a whopping 34 OPS plus and 124 2021 games. I mean, he was probably the worst hitter in Major League Baseball, but he does play Gold Glove defense. A lot of people on Twitter are saying, hey, don't forget to mention that because you're trading one Gold Glover for another one. But yeah, Hunter Renfroe didn't have a 34 OPS plus. Maybe JBJ finds his Red Sox magic from the past and is able to turn in a productive season. I don't know if that necessarily happens, but Hunter Renfroe was traded to the Brewers in exchange for Jackie Bradley Jr. and 2 other prospects, David Hamilton and Alex Benales, David Hamilton, he had 8 home runs and 52 stolen bases last year. 6 of them came in one game, talking about stolen bases, so this man can move. And then also Alex Benales, he had a 163 WRC plus in the minors this year, and he showed elite exit velo as well as power. So maybe they're trying to go for the future with this trade, which obviously that's the only thing that they could be going for, because Jackie Bradley Jr., I mean, I don't mean to say this, but he sucked. He was horrible last year. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So yeah, there you go. Hunter Renfroe is heading to the Milwaukee Brewers. They get their Avisail Garcia replacement, which to me, that is a fantastic move. I still can't believe this even happened. So the Red Sox are focused on prospects, and they still have Jeter Downs, so they are building a bright future in my opinion. But maybe for 2022's sake, this might have not been the best solution, or maybe JBJ is just more comfortable in Fenway and is gonna be able to produce at an elite level, not even elite, at just an average level yet again. The Red Sox, they weren't done just yet. They also grabbed Rich Hill on a 1-year deal, so he joins James Paxton as a lefty going to the Red Sox on a 1-year deal. This is his 3rd stint in Boston, but check this out. Rich has a 3.28 ERA since 2012 and a very respectable 3.65 FIP, so he's essentially been as good as Marcus Stroman, but I guess because he's 42 years old, he's not going to get a multi-year contract just like Max Scherzer. No one's going to give him a 10-year contract. That's why he got 3 years, $130 million. But hey, we had some spicy things to talk about. Players are still trolling Robert Manfred in Major League Baseball. Mark Melancon, Corey Knebel, they are 2 relievers that are pretty solid, especially at their age, and they have nasty stuff still going to new teams. We have the Dodgers retaining CT3, and Marcus Stroman is getting big time money, 3 years, $71 million. Good for him. I feel like he is going to be fantastic, especially in Wrigley Field, and I guess he's never played in there, and that was a tweet that came from him. I mean, I'm not doing research or anything like that, so you just have to trust the man himself. But that does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching, and to end today's video, let's just go ahead and show a random clip from MLB history.
Next time he faced Matt, there's a fly ball center field, long run for Jim Edmonds. Oh, he made a catch! Unbelievable!
Edmonds playing in because Howard doesn't have a great deal of power. Look how many steps he has to make.
Kansas City, they'd love to begin to put something together here today. Sizemore rockets one to right. Is it a slam? Yes, it is. And a day of celebration has brought out the Boo Birds at Yankee Stadium.